no one would have clicked on it. So that's my advice for YouTube. And some people are starting to say and think that YouTube is a little bit of a dinosaur, that it's not worth, going through the rigmarole on YouTube because it takes so much time to produce content here. But to me, YouTube is such a good way to show value because it's really hard to get subscribers on YouTube. Not to knock anyone's hard work on any other platform, but there's more people on TikTok with 1 million followers than there are on YouTube, right? It's hard to get to that, whatever the big number is. It's hard to get to that on YouTube. But on those other platforms, people might be more willing to click that follow button or that subscribe button. I think that's true of Instagram too. But for whatever reason on YouTube, people are real scared of clicking that button, which means when you do get them to click that button, it really means something. You really have that person. I won't name any names, but I have a friend who's very popular on TikTok who makes guitar content. And he recently confided in me, and he told me that he loves his fan base, and he loves that he's got 1 million people that are, watching his stuff, doing whatever the number is. It's bigger than that. And he said the problem is that he can't get them to go anywhere. So if he makes a tab or he sells a product or he wants to give guitar lessons, people won't actually go to his bio and click the link. People will just consume all the content and keep hitting follow for more. They're not going anywhere. Whereas all of my fans on YouTube, even though I have a much smaller number, not even at 100,000 yet, all of my fans are so dedicated. They want to look at everything I do, and they're so eager to help with community projects and make more bluegrass stuff happen. It's weird, It makes me think that if I had to do it all over again, I'd still put my money in YouTube, I feel like.
Right. And I heard you talk about building connection with your audience, and I think that's what I believe watching your content, that's what you've done right, is you've built that connection with your audience. And even though 60,000 subscribers is a lot in my head, I'm at 1,000, so it's 60 times the followers, but no, you've built
right.
these quality subscribers that when there's a call to action, if you ever bring out a call to action, you have a higher conversion rate possibility, and at the end of the day, at the end of the day, you're not making content just for fun. Of course it's fun, but this is your business, and you're trying to put food on the table for your kids and your family. And so going the route you did, I think, is 100% the correct way. And I watched this guy's name's Dan Cohen. He's all about the digital economy, and he talks about that, building a connection with the audience, and that's something I'm slowly working on, because I had a hard time being on camera, and now that it's been 9 months I've been making videos, I'm all right, let's just let's roll this, let's start talking. And even doing these interviews, the first 2 interviews I did, with my intro, I stumbled so much on the person's intro, and I felt bad because I put so much time into the intro. Where today, I felt like I was able to tackle your intro properly. And no, I think 100%, man. I'm impressed with what you've done, and you've definitely bumped up the quality, because I scrolled way back to your first videos to see, and you're right, you just had the camera put it on, and now you got proper lighting, you got a nice backdrop, the quality, the camera quality is great, so and the sound quality is amazing. So I don't know, man, it's impressive for sure.
It's a tough thing to decide where you're going to put your efforts when you decide on a career in social media. But I think for different people, different things are going to make sense. So I'll say that if you were going to do a career like this and you wanted to put all your apples in Instagram, well, then I wouldn't make hyper-produced content, And maybe it seems even obvious to say, but the stuff that really, goes crazy on Instagram is, shot on a cell phone. For instance, Jake Eddy is a very popular bluegrass guitar player that has a massive Instagram following. And majority of his videos are him just setting up his phone and, just going. And we chat about content creation, and it's funny because I'm over here my next 12 videos are planned through March. I know what I'm going to be doing with every hour of my life so I can get, hours and hours and hours of content done. And Jake Eddy shows up to work and is like, all right, well, here's my office, and turn on my phone. Sure, he might take a bunch of takes and stuff, but he's living within the bounds of of that algorithm, of that ecosystem. And I think sometimes people make that mistake. I've seen some content creators that I'm close with try to make very overproduced stuff for Instagram or for TikTok, and that's just not the place. And I personally have tried to post some of my very produced stuff on those platforms, and I'm like, this isn't the place. If I want to pour in hours and hours of editing, YouTube is my home.
Right. And I think you're right. Just to loop back when you're talking about TikTok, like I posted one of my Do You Play Guitar series, and it popped off, and I got 50,000 followers from one video. But like you said,
Right.
like there's not as much value there. There was like an influencer who had like millions of followers, and then she went to like a convention, and like she had like three people show up. You know what I mean? Where it's like a YouTuber like yourself with a strong fan base, you could go to a convention, and you for sure would know you would have more than 100, like you would have 100% have more than three people show up for it, right? So I think
Well, I
YouTube
can
is
tell you
definitely the way.
when I go to IBMA, like when I go to IBMA, like the awards show, I mean, yeah, I've been genuinely swarmed, which is funny because I don't think of my following as that massive. I mean, there's even bluegrass YouTubers that have larger followings than mine, sort of doing the same material. Like Jim Pankey does it for banjo, and he's at 100K. I love him. I love his content and everything. But, it's funny to me that going to a bluegrass space, I mean, yeah, I get recognized. I mean, I was at the bar the other day, like the brewery near our house, and this guy walked in, and he walked past me, and then he like walked backwards, and he was like, "Are you that guitar guy from YouTube?" That's funny. It happens.
Geez, that's pretty funny. And so